Do you ever feel like you're just too different from everyone else? That maybe being weird makes life harder? Well, here's the truth. It might actually make life easier. Sounds crazy, right? In fact, research shows that embracing your unique self can reduce stress and improve mental health. A 2015 study found that people who embrace their quirks are 30% less likely to feel depressed and anxious. While everyone else is busy trying to fit in, the weird kid is out there living life on their own terms and thriving. In this video, we're going to show you why being weird is a hidden superpower. You'll learn how being true to yourself leads to better friendships, a more relaxed pace, and a whole new definition of success. Stick around, because by the end, you might just want to embrace your weirdness more than ever. Chapter 1. The freedom of unfiltered expression. Growing up as the weird kid often feels like being on the outside, but there's a hidden superpower in being yourself. While others might spend years trying to fit in, the weird kid already knows the freedom that comes with self-expression. It's not always easy, but authenticity allows you to live a life that's unencumbered by societal expectations. You don't have to fake a personality, and you can focus on the things that make you happy, whether that's writing, creating, or simply being. Studies show that people who express themselves freely tend to have higher emotional well-being. In fact, a 2016 study by the American Psychological Association found that self-expression is linked to lower levels of stress and better mental health. When you're honest about who you are, it's easier to form real connections and find like-minded people. You stop wasting energy trying to impress others, and instead, your focus shifts to personal growth. Think about people like Steve Jobs or Lady Gaga. Both have been labeled weird at some point, but their authenticity led them to success. They didn't hide their quirks, they amplified them. By embracing their unique characteristics, they inspired millions. You can do the same. The key is not to worry about being judged or misunderstood. As they say, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Being weird is not a flaw, it's your superpower. It allows you to reject the noise and focus on what really matters. You can't put a price on the sense of relief that comes with being unapologetically yourself. It's like walking out of a suffocating room and into fresh air. When you're true to who you are, opportunities start to open up that never existed before. Life becomes easier, because you're no longer fighting against your true nature. Chapter 2. Breaking the chains of conformity. Conformity is a trap. It's easy to fall into the rhythm of fitting in, but at what cost? The constant pressure to meet other people's expectations leads to stress, anxiety, and even burnout. According to the Mayo Clinic, societal pressure is one of the top causes of chronic stress, and chronic stress can lead to serious health issues like heart disease, depression, and more. When you reject conformity, you break free from the anxiety that comes with trying to be something you're not. The weird kid isn't afraid to question the status quo, to ask why things are the way they are. This rebellious thinking sparks creativity and innovation. Remember, some of the world's greatest innovations didn't come from people who followed the rules. They came from those who dared to challenge them. Take Albert Einstein, for example. He was seen as weird by many, yet his ability to think differently led to one of the most revolutionary ideas in science, the theory of relativity. In fact, he once said, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." By embracing the freedom to ask, why, you can unlock a deeper understanding of the world and your place in it. Another interesting fact. According to a 2019 survey by Gallup, the most successful individuals are often those who report feeling like outsiders. Those who don't conform to the typical mold are more likely to pursue their passions, take risks, and create positive change. When you stop trying to fit in, you start thinking outside the box. The weird kid isn't bound by limits, they create their own path. Life becomes simpler when you let go of the need to conform. You'll spend less time worrying about what others think and more time pursuing what brings you joy. The world needs more weird thinkers, not fewer. Chapter 3. The hidden superpower of being an outsider. Being the outsider often means you see things others don't. This perspective is invaluable. Outsiders question everything. They're not afraid to look at the world and say, "There's a better way to do this." The weird kid isn't held back by societal norms or outdated traditions. They're empowered by their ability to see beyond the conventional. Research by Harvard Business Review found that diverse teams, including those with individuals who may be considered outsiders, are more innovative. People who think differently are crucial to progress. Without outsiders, many major breakthroughs would never have happened. From technology to art, outsiders often lead the charge in redefining what's possible. When you embrace your outsider status, you develop critical thinking skills. You learn to spot opportunities where others see obstacles. The weird kid isn't afraid to take risks, which often leads to big rewards. This unconventional mindset can lead to a more resilient and adaptable approach to life. You start to view failure not as a setback, but as a learning experience. Take Elon Musk, for example. Often labeled eccentric or weird, his unconventional thinking has reshaped multiple industries. He didn't follow the traditional path, he forged his own. Musk himself once said, "I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary." The so-called outsider mindset is often the spark behind extraordinary achievements. Being an outsider is not about feeling lonely. It's about embracing your unique view of the world and recognizing that your perspective is just as valuable, if not more valuable, than those who follow the crowd. This chapter isn't just about accepting the label of weird, it's about realizing that your way of thinking is a strength. When you stop trying to fit in and start using your outsider perspective, life becomes a series of exciting possibilities. If you're enjoying these insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the next chapters where we dive even deeper into how embracing your weirdness can make life easier. Chapter 4. Rewiring your social life. Cultivating true connections. One of the hidden benefits of being the weird kid is that it often leads to more genuine, authentic friendships. Instead of hanging out with people just to blend in, the weird kid is more likely to attract people who value them for who they really are. This means fewer shallow interactions and more meaningful relationships. According to a study by the University of California, people who form close friendships based on shared values tend to have a higher quality of life. These types of friendships are more fulfilling and provide better emotional support. It's simple. The weird kid skips the small talk and gets straight to the good stuff. They don't waste time pretending or trying to be someone else. The key to creating strong relationships is vulnerability. Being weird often requires you to be open about your quirks, interests, and struggles. Vulnerability fosters trust, and trust builds lasting connections. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that individuals who are open and authentic tend to have stronger, more supportive social networks. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the easier it is to find people who truly get you. Consider the friendships you see in movies, those that transcend superficiality and focus on deep emotional bonds. That's the magic of being weird. It's about finding your tribe, people who appreciate you for your individuality. You're no longer trying to be the perfect friend, but the real one. By focusing on quality over quantity, you'll cultivate connections that stand the test of time. When you stop trying to fit into someone else's mold, you create room for people who truly align with your values. These are the people who will push you to grow, support your dreams, and keep you grounded when times are tough. Relationships become easier, and your social life becomes richer, because you're no longer pretending. You're simply being yourself. Chapter 5. Ditching the normal hustle for a better pace. The typical hustle mentality in today's world often leads to burnout and exhaustion. But the weird kid, who doesn't follow the crowd, tends to avoid this trap. Instead of focusing on competing with everyone else, they create their own path, one that fits their pace and values. This slower, more deliberate approach can be incredibly freeing. A 2020 report from the American Institute of Stress found that 83% of U.S. workers suffer from work-related stress. The constant pressure to be productive leads to emotional and physical exhaustion. The weird kid, however, doesn't let the hustle culture dictate their life. They focus on what's important to them and take time to recharge. The key to this approach is redefining success. The weird kid's idea of success doesn't come from meeting societal expectations. It comes from living a fulfilling life. Instead of rushing to the next goal, they prioritize self-care, creativity, and mental well-being. As author Tim Ferriss writes in The 4-Hour Workweek, being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking and indiscriminate action. By slowing down, the weird kid is able to enjoy the present moment and make thoughtful decisions. Research by the University of California found that people who take time to relax and enjoy life experience better overall well-being. When you're not constantly hustling, it's easier to enjoy the simple pleasures of life and find peace of mind. So, instead of trying to keep up with the normal hustle culture, focus on your own rhythm. Slow down, set boundaries, and prioritize what truly matters to you. Life becomes easier when you're not racing against the clock. Chapter 6. Redefining success on your own terms. Success is often defined by external markers, money, fame, recognition. But the weird kid understands that true success is much more personal. It's about living life on your own terms, not following someone else's blueprint. When you reject traditional measures of success, you gain the freedom to define what it looks like for you. According to a study by the Harvard Business Review, individuals who define success for themselves tend to be happier and more fulfilled. They focus on their passions, set meaningful goals, and are more likely to maintain a balanced life. This personalized definition of success allows the weird kid to thrive in a way that fits their values and aspirations. Think about people like J.K. Rowling. She was once rejected by multiple publishers, yet her passion for writing never wavered. She didn't let others define what success should look like for her. She pushed forward, and in the end, she created a global phenomenon. As she said, success is not about how much money you make, it's about the difference you make in people's lives. The weird kid's approach to success is often unconventional. They're not in it for the accolades or external validation. They seek fulfillment, passion, and authenticity. This shift in perspective makes life easier because they stop chasing after something that might not even bring them happiness. Instead, they focus on what truly brings them joy and fulfillment. One of the benefits of redefining success is that it removes the pressure to keep up with others. Instead of competing, the weird kid focuses on their personal growth. They're able to work at their own pace, make their own decisions, and align their actions with their inner values. When success is about what you believe it to be, it becomes a source of motivation, not stress. Embrace the idea that success is unique to each individual. By defining success on your own terms, you'll be able to live a life that's true to who you are. And that, ultimately, is what makes life easier. If you enjoyed this content and want more tips on embracing your weirdness, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll keep bringing you strategies to make your life better and more authentic. Thanks for watching.